better cock your pistols.
I don't think we ought to be here.
Oh, come on, Sam. I've waited 7 years for this. I intend to savor every second of it.
Drive around to the side, Peters.
Why all the secrecy, Goody?
Listen carefully to it. It all has to do with the element of surprise. If Pierre Sedan had the slightest inclination that J. Hamilton Goodfellow...
World-famous gourmet and critic par excellence.
were about to critique his highly overpriced eatery. Well, let me put it in simpler terms to it. Did Cain send Abel a Western Union death threat? Did Delilah sharpen her scissors in the presence of Samson?
Never mind, Peters. Quietly.
Welcome. How nice of you to grace my restaurant.
Oh, stop smiling like a dyspeptic cobra, you handsome frog. You ruined my surprise attack. By the way, have you seen my junior partner? He's supposed to meet me in the alley. Being great. Oh, succulent. Oh, provocative. Ambrosia.
I thought you'd like to see this advance copy. It shows Mr. Marsden presenting you with our Restaurant of the Year award.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, come on, Pierre, get the lad out, will you? I mean, kindly show me to my table, post-haste.
Of course, please.
So wonderful. Oh, Pierre, you are a devil. Your food is the death of me yet. Your crepes, your soufflés, your canard l'orange. I must have them all tonight. A gastronomical orgy. Now, what in heaven's name is that monstrosity?
Don't you know? You sent it.
Me? Ridiculous. It looks like something left over from a scrap iron convention.
It's supposed to be a gelatin mold, according to the young man who delivered it. And they said it was for you.
For me. A gelatin mold the size of Mount Rushmore for me. What am I supposed to do with it? Feed the Mormon Tabernacle Choir? Well, let's have a look.
It's Mr. Marsden.
Somebody's murdered my partner.
Now, this phone is supposed to be for emergencies only. Now, listen, I have complete trust in you. Now, if you have to make these executive decisions, I mean, why don't you go ahead? I trust your judgment. Now, if you think Houston Industries really needs to switch over from manual pencil sharpeners to electric ones, then why don't you go ahead and do it? Now, how'd you get this phone number? I don't even have it myself yet. Murray, I told you 1,000 times there's no business out here at the ranch. Goodbye. Now, I'm real sorry, Kelly. What was it you were saying?
Don't lock down the throttle.
No, I won't. No, I'll nip the throttle.
Okay, Houston. How about a little bet? Maybe just a little 10 spot? Well, of course, unless you don't want to race a girl.
Lamar, that's a pretty chauvinistic remark.
Houston, why put your money where your chauvinistic is?
Unless you're afraid.
You're on to the house. $10.
Then let's go.
All right.
On your mark. Get set.
Hey, you can't! He just... Houston! You come back here and start me!
Houston, you lost the throttle.
Don't lock off the throttle. Don't lock off the throttle.
If there was anything Houston hated more than getting his boots wet, it was the news that his friend Prince Polanski, the famous restaurateur, had been arrested for the gelatin mold murder of Roger Marsden. So, after he changed his boots and his attitude, we headed for the Prince's restaurant to find out why Novelli had arrested him.
Well, I'll collect the information on those people closest to the victim, like you asked. But the case against the Prince is...
Hello, Vince. How's it going this morning?
Sorry, Houston. I heard you and the Prince were friends. I think we just found the murder weapon inside.
Brian, what might that be?
A very large gelatin mold. Still had traces of orange gelatin in it.
Well, Vince, there must be hundreds of those around town.
Made in Russia, 1937.
Oh.
Russia, 1937. How'd you figure that out?
Modern scientific technique. Turned the mold upside down, rubber was on the bottom.
Yeah, well, Vince, listen, I'm sure the Prince has an ironclad alibi.
Your client was home, alone, and asleep.
Well, in that case, his alibi is liable to end up in the Guinness Book of Records as the weakest one since Benedict Arnold flunked his polygraph.
Yeah, Vince, I mean, the man's a widower. You want to see him at the White House, tap dancing at a press conference?
Houston, you better scoot your boots or it's going to be arraignment time.
Oh, that's right. Listen, would you give C.J. a lift back to the office? C.J., warm up, baby, and get started on the information. I'll take care of His Highness.
That's American justice, eh? American justice. First, I'm arrested for a crime I didn't commit. Second, I gotta put a fourth mortgage on my restaurant so I could pay you back for the bail that I had to put up for that. And on top of that, me, a prince of royalty, I have to put up bail while the legitimate criminals with our list down to here, they go out free on their own recognizance.
Recognizance.
Recognizance, whatever it is.
Listen, Prince, now you got to explain to me a little more about this
Gelatin mold that Novelli found in your restaurant. I mean, that's pretty incriminating stuff.
What's the matter with you? I'm a world-class restaurateur. I, Prince Sergei Peter Ilyich Polanski. I am not running a cafeteria. I never used such a mold, and I would never use orange gelatin.
Yeah, well, listen, somebody used it, Prince, and they stuck it in your kitchen. Now, have you got any idea who'd want to frame you?
Of course, the murderers. Wait a minute. Do you know why the judge made that bail so high? He was afraid I was going to run back to Russia.
Come on, Prince. You know who you're talking to here. This is little Matlock, you know? I mean, the kid you used to let lick the cake bowls when you were making the cake. The kid you used to tell stories to, you know? The kid you taught the importance of being free.
You know, I owe all that to your father. You know, when I came to this country, I was nothing but a Russian peasant with a dream of a Statue of Liberty in a void called freedom. But your father, he sponsored me for my American citizenship. I'll never forget that, never.
Yeah, well, he did say of all his investments, you were his biggest dividend.
It's a fancy way of saying I was the family cook, huh?
Yeah. Listen, Prince, now, we got to get back at this thing because it's really bothering me. Now, do you have any idea of anybody who'd want to see you take the fall for Marston's death?
Any restaurateur in town. They always looking to knock off the champ, right? And I'm the champ. I was the champ till they ruined me.
Yeah, well, they, meaning Marston and his partner, J. Hamilton Goodfellow.
Who else?
Yeah, well, listen, the police told me that you threatened to kill both of them.
And they deserved it. They ruined me. For what? They don't know the difference between a plate of borscht and a banana.
Now, the question is, who besides a prince would want to see Marston dead? Now, who we got?
Well, the names and numbers of the first-string players, the people closest to Marsden, starting with his partner. Goodfellow, J. Hamilton. The J doesn't stand for anything. He gave it to himself as a present in order to be different. He was born in New York, the Bronx, 1930. Then he moved to Hollywood, where he majored in affectation.
He could have minored in murder also. You see, partners have a way of falling out.
You bet. Now that's Terry Anton, Goodfellow's constant companion, and maybe a little more.
Nice hors d'oeuvre.
Pierre Cerdan, former French decathlon champ, soccer star extraordinaire, Marsden's best friend, and the owner of the restaurant where the body turned up.
Listen, any idea on who made the delivery yet?
Well, nothing that's really going to help us. It's a regular delivery service. Apparently they got a call late in the afternoon to deliver from the Prince's to Chez Pierre.
Well, who made the call?
Well, this is the part you're not going to like. Apparently it was a man with an accent who called himself the Prince.
Oh, swell. Who's next?
Kate Riley. She's the producer-director of Marsden and Goodfellow's television show. Most importantly, she's Marsden's ex-wife.
Ex-wife as in bitter divorce?
As in cat and dog fight. From what I could find out, this divorce gives a new meaning to the word nasty.
Well, that's a good reason for murder.
Now, this is Kate's brother, Sam, who is very loyal, very protective, and according to his past record, very dangerous. Well, you got a lot of candidates. Where do you want to start?
Well, I think we ought to start with Mr. Goodfellow, J. Hamilton. Listen, CJ, keep digging and see what you can come up with on Marsden's will. I'd like to know exactly how that man decided to slice up the pie, you know what I mean?
With any luck, a la mode.
Promo's almost over.
All right, stand by. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hadn't planned to say what I'm about to say. This is strictly impromptu. In closing, during this first show without my dear friend and partner, Roger Marsden, leaves me feeling like a chocolate without the mousse, crepe without Suzette, Vichy without the Soise. It's lonely here without Roger. We shall do our best to carry on in the high standards you set for all of us. Until we meet in that great restaurant in the sky. Good night and bon appetit. Roger.
And cut. That's a wrap. We're in the wrong location, boys.
Don't you touch that, you cretin. Can't you see I'm famished? I'm going to finish every last tender morsel.
Maybe you should come back later. Mr. Goodfellow hates to be disturbed while he's eating. It has to do with the, digestive juices or something.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it too much, miss. I don't think there's much I could say to him that's going to put him off his feed.
Excuse me. I have to finish typing Goody's newspaper column.
Right, listen, could I ask you a question?
All right.
Okay, is it Roger Marsden and yourself? Now, how did you two get along?
My typing. I really have to get back to it.
Yeah, but... Oh, Miss Riley. Miss Riley, excuse me. My name's Matt Houston.
Of course it is. Bernie, get the lead out. We've got a flower show to cover.
Listen, I wondered if I might ask you a couple questions about your late husband and how he died.
Not soon enough, that's how. Should have happened years ago. Excuse me, please.
But I really did,
Kate's busy. She hasn't time for you now.
Listen, partner, maybe your owner ought to tell you about the new leash law. Now, why don't you take your hand off my shoulder? Mr. Goodfellow!
If you're collecting for some charity, I didn't give it the office, and I never give it home.
Fine. Listen, my name's Matt Houston, and I'm a private detective.
Boots. Worse than that, cowboy boots. I hope you didn't tether your trusty steed on my front lawn. It's prize-winning dichondra, and when it needs fertilizer, my gardener gets it through legal channels.
Listen, I'm representing Prince Pulaski.
My condolences. The man is guilty of sin.
Well, I don't really believe that, and I was hoping I could get a little cooperation from you.
Sorry, Sundance. Since my partner died, my workload has doubled, and I have no time to play Starsky and Hutch with you.
Mr. Goodfellow, you really should have told me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Stop. What are you doing? It's not my birthday.
Oh, but the delivery man insisted that it was.
Where are you going with my cake? Get out!
Ah!
You ruined my birthday cake!
Well, I thought it was a bomb. I mean, you're the one that told me it wasn't your birthday.
Well, it isn't, but I love birthday cake, especially the frosting. I wonder who sent it.
Oh, this came with it.
Oh, may I? Thank you. If you like Marsden gelatin, you're gonna love Goodfellow Under Glass. It's unsigned. Appears to be a death threat, Mr. Goodfellow.
It's ridiculous. It's just a silly prank. Don't you think? Well, I suppose it could. Perhaps I will cooperate with you in exchange for protection.
You got it. All the protection you need if you tell me everything you know.
Talk to the prince about that exploding cake.
Well, because I had a taste of what was left of it, and there's only one person I know of who uses burnt almond mandalay in his cakes, and he's it. He's famous for it.
Mandalay like in Burma?
Yeah. Yeah, see, it's very rare, very expensive, and hard to come by. We used to go crazy over it when we were kids.
Well, Houston, if he's famous for it, whoever's trying to make the prince look guilty would be sure to use burnt almond mandalay, too.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought, but I'll tell you something else. That Kate Riley sure got away from me in a hurry a while back.
For that matter, J. Hamilton Goodfellow could have sent it himself.
If you're looking for the prince, forget it. Went into exile, he skipped.
When?
Probably right after he tried to transport J. Hamilton Goodfellow to the Never Never Land with that trick birthday cake.
So you heard about that, huh?
Yeah. My ears are still vibrating. Let's say that Goodfellow is not exactly crazy about being murdered.
Any idea where he might have skipped to?
Probably halfway to Moscow by now. If Interpol doesn't catch up with him, you're going to be out a lot of pocket money, Houston.
No, Vince, it's not the money I'm concerned with. I know that man.
Sorry, Houston. I think you're back to loser this time.
Vince, you... Boy.
I wish all of my customers were so discerning of taste and so beautiful.
Thank you, Pierre.
Listen, Pierre, I hate to interrupt business with pleasure, but I need to ask you a couple questions. Now, have you got any idea why you inherited the corpse?
None whatsoever. That kind of publicity I don't need.
Well, look, any idea who killed Roger Marsden?
The mystery, if indeed there is one, doesn't seem to be so deep. From what I've read and heard.
Yeah, I see. So you're nominating the prince, huh?
Oh, no. I don't want to knock Polanski. He's a competitor.
He was a competitor.
This business runs in cycles. The prince had his day in the sun. Today it's my turn. Tomorrow, who knows? I owe my current success to the late Mr. Marsden and his partner, Mr. Goodfellow. Our rave reviews place Chez Pierre where it is today.
The night Roger Marston was found dead in here, you had a couple of customers. It was Kate Riley and her brother. Now, have they ever eaten in here before?
In the 4 years we've been open, never before.
I see. Well, that brings me to another question. Now, if you...
It certainly does. Why is this the wrong year? I ordered a 62. Please excuse me.
But,
Something's bothering you.
It's not the wine, either.
I'll bet it's the fact that Kate Riley and her brother come to this restaurant for the first time, and they find her ex-husband in a gelatin mold.
Yeah, and Pierre was real anxious to tell us about it.
Now, I suggest you first start with the kiwi tarts. They're marvelous. Then go to the apricot tarts. Then try the orange cake. Graduate to the chocolate cake. Go to the berries and that wonderful pyramid of puffs. And then lime cake. And then, oh, look at that number over there. As a matter of fact, you can have anything you want. Have anything on the table, except the candles, of course.
Murray, what in the name of Too Tall Jones is going on here?
It's him. The man who came to dinner really came. See for yourself.
Oh, hello, Sundance. Welcome. Come right in. Make yourself at home. Is this Mrs. Sundance?
Nope, they call me Butch. That's because my mama dresses me so funny.
Excuse me, Mr. Goodfellow. This might be a silly question, but what the hell's going on here?
Well, it must be perfectly obvious. You now have J. Hamilton Goodfellow as your own personal guest.
Well, how'd they get so all-fired lucky?
Elementary, my dear Sundance. After all, you did promise me protection after my birthday cake went that-a-way, remember?
Yes, I do. I do remember something about protection.
Houston probably means police protection. That's right. Put you in a very interesting cell where nobody can get to you.
What, you got rocks in your head or something? Me in a cell? What, are you crazy?
Oh, I don't think it'll be all that bad, Mr. Goodfellow.
I would as soon as starve to death. I would starve to death. Never mind. Never mind. I'll just walk out of here with no protection. I'll get out on the streets and make it simple for Prince Polanski, whom you got out of jail, to kill me. Please don't feel any guilt when you attend my funeral. Far be it from me to ever say that my death is on your head.
Oh,
Don't
look,
do it, Houston. This is a place of business.
Besides, we don't have a bedroom.
You certainly do. I took the liberty of having a cot and certain other amenities moved into somebody's office. I think they said his name was C.J.
Him is a her. C.J. is me.
I do wish you would stop changing your name, young lady. Well, never mind. I'll try not to mark your walls when I hang my paintings. And you'll find me an exceptionally charming guest. You'll love me. Trust me. Now, it's time for my beauty rest. Come along, darling. Time for our beauty rest. Ta. Grab the strawberry one.
Houston, for you?
Mrs. Houston, where are you? Will you stay put until I get there, all right? Where's the prince? He wants to see me alone.
Come, my sweetheart. That's it, darling. Come. Hey, come. I got popcorn for you. Oh, yes. I got all kinds of popcorn. Uh-huh. I put special butter on, and then I put on a little garlic salt, so it'll taste good. Okay. Now take all the popcorn you want. Now, be very careful. I got a lot of butter on there and garlic salt, so don't bleed on each other. All right? Go ahead. Have fun. Oh, Matlick, I'm glad you came.
Well, I had to protect my investment, now, didn't I?
Oh, look, the bail money, I'll pay you back.
No, not the bail money. My investment in an old friend, Prince. Why'd you skip out?
Well, it's obvious, no? Huh? That Commissar Novelli, he's got an ironclad case against me, huh?
Yeah, now it's very ironclad. I mean, with that stupid cake bet, not to mention the card.
I just thought maybe I'd smoke him out, you know?
Well, what was a cake supposed to do? Blow him out?
Look, I didn't know what I was doing. Anyway, what's the difference? I mean, you were there, a great detective like you knew what to do right away. And besides, there was no danger, no?
Danger? No danger? You didn't see that shed go up. Now, Novelli is going to consider this attempted murder.
Oh, no. Look, not like I was just trying to help, that's all.
That's fine, Prince. Now, would you do me a favor? Just tell me why you went after Goodfellow. I mean, do you really think he killed Marston?
I don't know what I think. I'm confused. I'm scared. I'm scared, Matt.
You and me have been friends for an awful long time, you know? Now, you got to trust me a little bit now. We'll get this thing worked out. Now, you got to give me 1 hour with Novelli so I can sell him on the truth. Now, you meet us at Mama Novelli's restaurant, all right? Huh? Good night.
Houston, if it wasn't him shooting at you, who was it? If Polanski walks in here, I've got to bust him.
No, you don't have to bust him. You can help me set a trap. You see, then the real killer will step right into that trap.
What if the prince walks into it?
Oh, sta tranquilo, he won't. I give you my personal guarantee.
I mean, you don't even know the prince.
Sure I know him. Television, magazines, newspapers. He's a celebrity. And a macho celebrity.
Vince, listen, whoever walks into the trap, he's all yours. Is that fair enough?
I don't know.
Well, of course you don't know. See, that's the whole point. That's why we have to exhaust every possibility we've got.
Yeah, well, there is some new evidence I got to ask him about.
Go ahead and ask.
Saverio? Welcome. Welcome to my humble restaurant, Your Royal Highness.
Thank you, Mrs. Novelli.
Oh, call me Rosa. Like in Rosa the Widow for 15 years.
That kind of Rosa, eh? Yeah.
Listen, Prince, you remember the zoo, the shooting? What happened? I was looking for you.
I ran, and somebody was shooting at me, and I didn't even turn around to look. I mean, I don't know who I'm running away from anymore. I mean, is it Marsden's murderers or the police? Or who am I? Everybody's running after me.
I should read you your rights, but first I have to ask you a question.
Go ahead, ask anything.
4 days before Marsden's death, you received a very large quantity of orange gelatin, enough to float McHale's Navy.
Is that true?
8 cases. 8 cases orange gelatin. I didn't want it. I want to send it back, and the driver said, no, it's already prepaid. And that night, somebody came in and stole it.
And you didn't file a police report?
I thought it was a joke. I mean, 8 cases orange gelatin, what am I going to do with it? No, I didn't call the police. What for?
Excuse me, Mr. Houston, there's a phone call for you.
Excuse me, please.
Vincenzino, credilo. Listen to the prince. His Highness is an honest man.
Thank you, Mrs. Novelli.
Actually, it's been 15 and a half years, eh?
Rosa.
Houston. Hello, CJ. Double indemnity?
You got it. They may have been divorced, but Kate Riley stands to get $400,000 from Marston's insurance.
And maybe it's about time I catch up to that busy lady, huh?
Come on, ladies, keep up the pace. We've only got 3 miles to go. Keep your knees up.
I hope he's honking for me.
Go, let's burn off some calories.
Miss Riley! Yeah, we almost met the other day at Goodfellow's place.
Oh, yeah. Roy Rogers.
But no, it's Matt Houston. And I'll tell you, I'm still investigating the death of your ex-husband. You were at Chez Pierre the night that your ex-husband was found dead. Now, how come you showed up there?
When I got home, there was a message on my answering service. It was from Roger. He said if I met him at Chez Pierre that night, he would give me all my back alimony.
Did you believe him?
But I figured, what do I have to lose?
Did you kill him, Kate?
Roger Marsden committed suicide. That no-good scum made so many enemies. Somebody had to kill him. Did I kill him? No. But there were times I sure would have liked to.
Bud Spellman, newsroom, please. Thank you. Yeah, Vince, how's the Prince doing?
It's driving me nuts. I sign my best man to tail and play bodyguard. Polanski tries to lose him.
Well, Vince, now the time for action is now. Now, you agreed to help me set this trap, and I'm going to be the bait, all right?
Would it matter if I said no?
Well, yeah. But you're not going to say no, are you, Vince? Bud! Yeah, this is Matt Houston. Listen, partner, I need a favor from you. Yeah, I need you to announce on your afternoon news broadcast that I'm going to name Roger Marsden's killer on J. Hamilton Goodfellow's television program today. You do that? Appreciate it, Pard. I owe you one. Thank you.
Hey, Houston, anybody ever accuse you of not playing with a full deck?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's revolting. It's awful. Positively terrible. Well, worst television script I ever read.
Who wrote it?
I did. Not that I can't write. I'm brilliant. But rusty. My partner used to handle this sort of thing.
Maybe you'd be more comfortable in more familiar surroundings, like at home.
Sorry, Butch. I'm camping out in your office until this sordid situation ends. What now, Mr. Pinchpenny?
More unpaid bills from more caterers? How dare you charge all this to Mr. Houston?
Very well. Henceforth, I shall charge them to you.
My battle.
Oh, yes, a big tip for you. Here you go, Pinchpenny.
I don't believe it.
Now, hush. This is my favorite tune.
Yeah, I'm working on it, CJ. I just haven't found a crane that'll reach the penthouse.
Come along, Sundance. Grab a belly dancer and join me.
Listen, no, I really don't have time for that. But I tell you what, I would like to talk to you about your television show.
Don't tell me you write scripts, too. If so, I'm in dire need of your services.
Well, not really, but I tell you, I do have an idea. Now, it's a slightly different format, but I think you'll enjoy it. If I'm right, it's going to catch us a killer.
Okay, we'll open on a loose two-shot, then come in for a single on Goodfellow.
Matlock, you sure you know who the killer is?
Well, let's just say I'm hoping that he or she is going to tip his or her hand.
You know, Matlock, sometimes you talk funnier than I do. At least I have a reason. I'm mad. You see him standing there so confident and cocky and sure of himself?
You got to admit, Prince, he's got the #1 restaurant in town.
I don't know why the critics, they turned against me. They ruined my restaurant. For what? I mean, they heaped all the praise on him. I mean, he couldn't have got better publicity if he paid for it. I mean it.
Don't worry about it, Prince. We'll take care of him.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll see you at the restaurant today, all right? All right, bye-bye.
Well, I really didn't expect to see you here, Pierre.
Oh, why not? Roger was my best friend. When I heard you were going to reveal the killer, I wanted to be here.
I hope I don't disappoint you.
You know what you're doing, Houston.
I hope you know what you're doing, Novelli.
I got more cops in the area than Take-Two Video's got technicians.
Frankly, I think this whole charade is a complete exercise in futility.
A little more Carl.
I mean, no self-respecting killer is going to murder anyone in broad daylight, knowing full well that this place will be crawling with fuzzies. Or are you still called piggies?
Looks like an apple in your mouth.
How dare he?
Mr. Houston, I hope you're a big hit on the show, telling the world who the killer is. We can use the ratings.
As well as a competent producer, director.
Quiet, Pac-Man. This is my domain.
I've just had the most awful thought. I do hope that the killer is a good shot. Otherwise, he might miss Houston and hit me.
Now, would you get your exalted buns over here before this producer-director makes you a falling star?
Sit on it, Kate! Oh, woman is so exasperating.
Hold it, Houston. We gotta get a mic on you. Harry!
Houston's plan to be the bait worked all right. Unfortunately, a knife showed up, but the fish didn't. So it was back to the drawing board, only we didn't have one. As a matter of fact, we didn't even have our fearless leader.
Oh, these are terrible. Positively revolting. Thank you, my sweetness. Tell that alleged photographer that this food layout is supposed to make my readers salivate, not regurgitate. Burn them, my darling.
If somebody doesn't do something about him, he is going to fly the London Symphony in here for high tea.
Murray, I've done all I can do. Asking him to leave is like telling Sylvester Stallone not to make Rocky IV.
Houston, where have you been? We have been looking everywhere for you.
Well, I've been down to City Hall following up a hunch. Yeah, oh, listen, I think I know who the killer is.
You know who killed Marsden?
Well, I think so, but now all I have to do is prove it. But anyway, CJ, I'll explain all that at the first annual Matt Houston Crime Busters picnic. Well, Japanese, huh? Listen, Mr. Goodfellow, now, when are you gonna taste some of my food? You know, that down-home Texas chili with all those Mexican jalapenos floating around in the pot?
Only when life becomes so unbearable will I be forced to commit harry-carry. Nothing personal, Sundance. Actually, I wanted to thank you for your most generous hospitality.
Oh, you forget it. I mean, it's nothing any ordinary Texas fool wouldn't do for a total stranger. Listen, I'll see you at the picnic, all right?
Picnic? What picnic?
Oh, boy, ladies, that looks good. Looks like you've done it again for me. Thank you. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to hold up on dinner for just a few minutes because I figured we'd all enjoy the food a lot more when we find out who killed Roger Marsden.
Then you know the killer's identity.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I figured we'd just sort of kick back and examine the facts, cover a little ground, and see what we come up with. Now, that brings us to number one, the good Prince Polanski, who our lieutenant, Lieutenant Novelli, has arrested for Marsden's murder. Now, the lieutenant and I have this problem. See, we really don't think that the Prince did it because I'll tell you something very honestly. If you're going to kill somebody, you don't threaten them publicly. No, sir, you don't. And that brings us to number two, which happens to be Kate and Sam Riley. Now, they're both very good suspects with very good motives, but we can rule them out also.
Airtight alibis.
Yeah, that's right, airtight alibi. You see, you were both present the night that Roger Marsden's body was unveiled in the restaurant. But we did discover that you'd just flown in from Detroit 2 hours earlier, so you really didn't have a chance to kill the man. And that brings us to number three. And that's the lovely Terry Ant. And you love your employer very much, don't you?
We're engaged.
That's right. And it gives you a very good motive for murder, doesn't it? Would you like to explain a little bit about that?
I hated Roger Marsden because of what he did to Goody. It was Goody's idea to set up the partnership. And then Roger took over completely. He made Goody do everything that he said. Oh, I hated Roger Marsden. But I didn't kill him. Honest.
Then it was Marsden that wanted me out of the business, not you.
No, I never did. I adored your food.
That's right. So Terry didn't kill Marsden. Besides, he's really not strong enough to kill a man and lug that big body around. No, that really wouldn't work out. So that brings us over here to good old Pierre, Lucky Pierre, I like to call him. Now, what would you think his reason for killing Marsden would be?
Me? Oh, that's ridiculous. I love Roger. Everything I am, I owe to Roger. My restaurant, everything.
That's right, everything and a whole lot more, including a lot of things that a lot of people didn't know anything about, like Mr. Goodfellow. You see, Marsden was running a shakedown racket.
That's preposterous.
Is it really? You see, it takes me back to the day of the television taping. It was something that the Prince said. Yeah, he said Pierre couldn't have gotten better reviews if he paid for them.
6 restaurant owners confirmed it. Marsden traded good reviews for cash.
Marsden got 30% of your restaurant in exchange for destroying the Prince and making your restaurant the #1 restaurant in all of Southern California. CJ, the envelope, please. Thank you. See, right here in this envelope is an official document all the way from City Hall, and it's proof that you and Roger Marsden were partners.
So, I made Roger a partner. That's not against the law.
No, not really, but I tell you what, you got awful tired of giving 30 cents of every dollar you made to Marsden. And that's when you killed him.
Houston, that's ridiculous. And, I'll prove it. I'll prove it to you!
I'll be right back.
Do it, Bo. I'm warning you, if Houston should happen to catch
Relax,
you...
Lamar. I done told you, Houston. And that ain't your barge. You can't be running off like that.
What is going on? I'll explain later, fellas.
Don't lock the throttle!
CJ, get this man a check.
That's 3,612 to 3,606.
Over here, boys.
This tournament's still got 4 months to go.
Well, I'll be. I thought a little refreshment might be nice on a hot, dusty day.
Yeah, CJ, what is it?
What is what?
Well, now, I know you didn't drive all the way out here just to play Mrs. Santa Claus. Now, you got something on your mind. Why don't you tell me what it is?
Well, as a matter of fact, Houston, now that you mention it, there is something digging at me. You knew deep down that the prince was innocent all along. How come?
Well, I'll tell you, CJ, it's really quite simple now. Ever since I've been knee-high to a grasshopper, the prince has meant a whole lot to me and my family. Not only was he Daddy's favorite cook, he taught me a very important lesson in life, and that's the cowboy code.
The cowboy code? Is that anything like the Dallas Cowboys?
Wash your mouth out, girl. Don't you know nothing?
Oh, that just goes to show how ignorant a college graduate can get.
Save me, Houston. What is the cowboy code?
Well, CJ, I think the prince found it in an old Western movie because, you see, that's what he thought America was all about at that point in time. It goes something like this. Never shoot first, never hit a smaller man, and never take an unfair advantage.
And never go back on your word.
Be kind to kids, elders, and animals.
And don't harbor no religious nor racial intolerance.
That's right. And most important of all, a cowboy is a patriot.
I think that's kind of nice.
I like it.
So that's how you knew the prince wasn't guilty.
Well, that and the fact that he never could make gelatin.
Better cock your pistols.
Thank you. Hello, Tabby. Hello, my little darling. How are you? Little hors d'oeuvre, huh? Here we go. Beautiful for you. Tabby, Come back here, come back here. Tabby, I've got something for you, Tabby. Come on, Tabby. Here we go. I know where you are. Come on. Tabby.
Matt Houston used to say, if the best things in life are free, how come everyone's always squabbling over the money? And boy, were the squabbles out today.
I know, but if you tell me how much...
What's going on in there?
They've been there an hour.
Sir, I just have a couple of papers for you to sign. It's nothing important. May I, sir?
Oh, help yourself, Murray. Listen, I don't believe I've ever seen you take a drink before.
Oh, just at weddings. Wakes.
Murray, what is going on in there?
Would you excuse me just a minute? Thank you.
How long are you going to be? Girl,
CJ, what'd you get me into?
Well, now, Houston, you're a man who's fascinated by intriguing cases. Well, this one's a dilly. Do you remember reading in yesterday's paper about the death of that cat food millionaire?
Well, who could forget? I mean, they're right in the middle of Beverly Hills. A man gets mauled to death by his favorite tiger.
Yes, William, folks call him Felix Randolph. One of the richest men in America, married 4 times, divorced 4 times.
You mean that's what's out there right now?
You got it. Wives 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, my heart, be still.
Can we get this show on the road? We have been waiting long enough. Who's this, your gardener?
Matlock Houston. May I present the first Mrs. Randolph, presently known as Mrs. Lauren Calder, Matlock Houston.
Well, you will have to do. Now, we have a problem. One of us murdered Felix, and we want to hire you to find out who.
Can we hurry up? I have to go.
Zizi Tabori, wife number 2.
I have a very important date with my masseur.
Did she say murder?
Don't be shocked if we don't seem grief-stricken, Mr. Houston. You see, Felix was the world's nastiest man.
To know him was to hate him.
This is one thing we all agree on.
Except for me. I loved him.
Oh, brother.
Say hello to number 4.
Hi.
I did. For a little while.
The acting lessons are beginning to pay off. Of course, the wringing hands clutched to the bosom may be a little too much.
At least I have a bosom to clutch.
Now.
Ladies, please.
It's a miracle of modern medicine.
Don't give away secrets, girls. Gravity gets us all in the end.
You're right, darling. We followed you in.
Darling.
Darling.
Darling. Zizi.
Ladies, just hold your horses for a minute. CJ, please.
Well, Felix Randolph had a will. Now, in that will, he insisted that someone was trying to murder him.
That's the word I heard.
One of his ex-wives. Now, obviously, he didn't want the murderer to profit from his death, so...
None of us gets a nickel until the guilty one is found. Until then, all the money goes to the support of his cats.
$70 million. You see, Felix was one of those lovely husbands who played cat and mouse, the rat.
So we need you to find out which one of them, or us,
You.
killed him, and then to settle the will.
To tell the truth, Mr. Houston, we all need the money.
Ladies, I'll tell you what. We'll take a look at all the details
right,
in
we'll
the
go,
will and its provisions. Right.
Would you hurry it up, cowboy? Because as Miss Goody Two-Shoes said, we all need the bucks.
Right.
Support the cowboys.
I have to see you alone. I have to see you.
All right.
Look, I think I can help you solve this case.
Bye-bye. CJ, I want to have a word with you.
You bet.
You know, CJ, 4 ex-wives and a whole bunch of big cats is not exactly my style.
Well, I know, Houston, but if it'll make you feel any better, he didn't do too well himself. Now, here you have Felix Randolph, famous cat food millionaire, owned the largest private reserve of cats in the world, not to mention 4 big cats who just left your office.
Yeah, I guess you could call him the fearless feline foursome.
Yes, you could. Good.
You could.
Apparently, all parties got what they deserved because the word vanity, that's Felix. He took 4 or 5 showers a day, loved to splash himself with cologne. Ironically enough, it's called Crown Jaguar.
CJ, the man ran a private zoo. He must have known the danger that's involved with that. Now, why do the police think it's murder?
Apparently, Novelli had a conversation with this young man, Buddy Young. He tends to the animals. He's a very simple kid, but he's very sweet. And he insists that all the big cats are kept under lock and key all the time.
It means the killer cat had to be let out of the cage.
So it seems.
Yeah.
Houston, where are you going?
Well, I'm going to go out to Felix's Beverly Hills cat farm, see what I can find out. Now, meanwhile, you dig up what you can on the ex-wives. If we're lucky, we'll find out that they all did it. Hello there. Anybody home? Help! Help! Somebody! Hello? Anybody home?
Away now. Pasha? Bad boy. Back in your house. Good. It's okay now. I'm sorry. I let him out when I was washing the cage. I think you scared him. That's why he growled.
In fact, is this the tiger that killed Felix Randolph?
They're gonna take him away. They're gonna put him to sleep. Pasha's a good tiger. He's pretty old, though, but he doesn't see so well anymore. He used to let Mr. Felix pet him.
Mr. Randolph used to pet this tiger?
A long time ago. Maybe tigers forget. They're not like elephants.
Well, hello, Vince.
Hello, Houston. What are you doing out here?
Well, some folks asked me to look into this.
Hello, Lieutenant Novelli.
Hi, buddy. Listen, son, we want to ask you to come along with us.
Where?
Down to the station. We want to talk to you down there about Mr. Randolph and how he was killed.
But I told you already. What's the matter?
Gently.
Vince, what's going on here?
Buddy, I have to arrest you for the murder of Mr. Randolph.
Me?
Put him in the car and read him his rights.
I don't believe this.
I didn't do it. I wouldn't hurt nobody. Who's gonna water the animals?
For crying out loud, Vince, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh, don't make me feel any worse than I already do.
The kid knows no more about murder than a hog knows about a buggy whip. Now, why don't you tell me what's going on?
Give me a better suspect. Nothing would make me happier.
I believe I'll do that.
By morning, we dug up the personal histories on Felix's ex-wives. The info on Ava, his last wife, was short and to the point. Felix had gone to Las Vegas on a toot and had tooted just a bit too much, waking up in a hotel room with a hangover and a new bride formerly fourth from the right on the chorus line.
Hello? Anybody home?
No.
That girl's hurting.
No. Listen.
Oh, Mr. Houston. Come on in. We'll continue later. I'm so glad you've come. I just heard the good news. They arrested the guilty man. Isn't that wonderful? I mean, it isn't wonderful, that poor, simple boy. But at least now we get to go ahead and collect our inheritances.
Well, I wouldn't get too excited about that just yet, because I'm not real satisfied that the poor, simple boy is guilty.
What? But... not satisfied?
No.
I mean, the police are.
Police have the boy's head on a chopping block, but they haven't chopped it off yet. Now, you told me you wanted to talk to me at the office. Something about helping me solve this case?
Well, that was before Buddy was arrested. I thought I knew who did it. I thought it was Lauren. Lauren Calder, his first wife. She really hated him.
Is that right?
She was supposed to get some kind of a loan from him for something to do with her company, Crown Jaguar.
Crown Jaguar Cologne?
That's part of it. It's a whole cosmetics company. She started it after her divorce from Felix.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, he used to wear this Crown Jaguar cologne all the time, right?
Of course. He only did it to drive us other wives crazy. He always played one against the other.
Oh, now, back to the loan. Did she get it?
Felix promised it to her, and then he didn't give it to her. He did things like that.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
She went through the roof. She threatened him. He told me. And she's tough. I really think she'd... If any of us did it, it was her.
Well, that's interesting. That's real interesting. First, we got the poor, simple boy that did it. Then we got wife number one that did it. Now, why don't you let me ask you a question? Why didn't you do it? I'm sorry. That's right. I forgot. You're the one that loved him. Happy trails.
Are you making fun of me?
I don't do that to people.
Look, you didn't know Felix. He toyed with people. He played games with them. This whole thing with the will, it's just a cruel game to keep the money from us. This is just like him.
Well, you're the one that keeps insisting that you loved him.
He said he'd put me in the movies. He gave me singing lessons and dancing lessons and acting lessons, and then he laughed at me when I showed him what I could do. I'm glad he's dead. He deserved to die.
Did you kill him?
You're leaving. And don't you come back here. And don't you upset her ever again.
It's okay, John. Mr. Houston, this is John, my physical culturist and executive producer.
Executive producer.
Well, he'll be my executive producer when we make the film, after we get the money from the estate to make the film.
It just goes to show you that talent will out, huh? Bye now. Yeah, CJ, just checking up on you. Listen, did you get Buddy bailed out of jail yet?
About 2 hours ago, we took him right back to the estate.
Tell him. Tell him. Tell him how much.
That's Murray saying hello.
$200,000 bail! What's that?
That's Murray sending his regards, Houston.
Oh, you straightened that hem. Good. That looks pretty. All right, thank you. You all look very nice. Tell Alfred we may do some stills today.
You will confine your meeting to the time Miss Calder allows.
You're very protective of your boss, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Why, Mr. Houston? Perhaps you're just in time to give us a man's point of view.
Well, I believe they all ought to get a 10.
The perfume they're wearing. You have a nose for scents?
Well, I'm willing to learn.
Well, would you mind? Give us your opinion as to whether or not the fragrance fits the occasion. For instance, game time, our little beachwear girl over there, and on the end, the evening dress.
Well, I'm willing to give it a whirl. Game time, huh? You seem like the athletic type.
I'm a real good sport.
I'll bet you are. Something you knitted in your spare time? Tell me something. What happens when it hits the water?
When you get it wet, it shrinks.
Evening. Oh, boy, what a nice way to end the day.
Perfume, Mr. Houston.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. It all seems to match up fine. I like it a lot.
Thank you. You report to photography.
555 2200.
I understand you've been seeing an awful lot of your ex-husband lately. Something to do with money?
It's no secret. Larger companies been trying to take me over. I've could have stopped them in their tracks if he'd co-signed a loan, but he strung me along and then pulled out at the last minute. Now I'm in a proxy fight, and I'm in danger of losing my own company.
I would imagine a company like this would take a lot of years of a person's life, huh?
It is my life, and Mr. Houston, make no mistake about it. I intend to keep it. I will do anything to keep it. Now, if anybody had a reason to kill Felix, I did. I married Felix when I was 16. Oh, he was no millionaire then. He was a butcher's helper. I collected the scraps and ground them into cat food, and I went out and peddled to the housewives, and I made the deals, and I built that fortune the same as he did.
And you needed a loan from him, right?
$20 million just till the end of the month. Instead, he'd let me sink and laughed at me all the while.
Well, now that he's dead, you'll inherit at least that much, won't you?
Houston, I built 2 fortunes. Do you really think I'd kill him to get out of a jam? No, I didn't kill him. But I dedicate a statue to the one who did.
Who might the statue look like?
Darling, can't you guess?
I see.
Mr. Houston was just leaving.
Oh, that's my favorite suit. Thank you.
Bart. Something I want you to attend to.
Yes, ma'am.
Why would Buddy try to kill me when I put up his bail? I just can't believe it. I can't believe what he did.
Lieutenant, you gotta get out an APB. A 10-4, whatever you call it. You gotta get men out there, cops and cars.
Murray, we don't need to send out the Marines.
Oh, sure. Joke about it. But we put up the bail money. $200,000. That kid ran off with $200,000 of your money.
Murray, don't get ahead of yourself. Nobody runs off until they don't show up in court.
Every minute we're talking, that kid's running. Our money is getting further away. I can't make them understand.
Murray!
Our money...
Would you get me some coffee, please?
Sure.
No, not this kind. You know the kind I love. The kind I drank at the Oiler games.
You want me to go to Houston to buy you a cup of coffee?
Right.
You're kidding.
Right. Murray, I'm feeling kind of low.
Gotcha.
Houston, I appreciate you've got a big heart. But I told you you were playing with fire when you bailed that kid out.
Vince, I can't see him in jail.
Well, where is he now? And Murray was right about one thing. I gotta put an all-points bulletin out on that kid.
Oh, come on now, Vince. That's getting a little dangerous. I mean, we're not dealing with Jack the Ripper here.
I know. Houston, he tried to kill you.
You can't put him in custody, Vince. The boy does not communicate very well. I'm afraid he's going to do the wrong thing.
I gotta put out an APB. I'll add a caution.
That kid had to know I was trying to help him.
He probably went back to the estate. From everything you've told me about him, he isn't very comfortable outside the world he knows.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's got to be an explanation for what he did. Now, what are the possibilities?
Somebody put him up to it.
Or he's trying to cover for somebody. Whatever it is, that's what we got to find out.
Obviously.
Felix's third wife was the ultimate mating machine, the gold-digging, jet-setting, mind-boggling Zizi Tabori. It was a wild ride while it lasted. Today, she runs the Aphrodite Health Farm.
I know who you are. You're Matt Houston.
Right.
I know what this is about, and I don't want you upsetting her. It's about that filthy ex-husband of hers. If you want to lay that on someone, lay it on one of the other wives. You understand?
Yeah, I understand. Now, listen, I hate talking to myself.
Or you'll have to deal with me. Get it?
Clear.
I want to be sure we understand each other. I hate to get rough.
I just want to ask her a couple of questions, if it's all right with you.
She's in there.
Thanks.
Oh, remember what I said about getting rough?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to chance that.
Karate!
Hello, darling. All right, boys, stop it a moment. I was expecting you.
So I understand.
What can I do for you?
Well, just the obvious.
You think that I killed Felix and that I would profit from his death. Well, of course I would. I'm mortgaged to the hilt. If this goes on much longer, I will have to dismiss all these wonderful masseurs of mine. Don't worry, my darlings. I'd rather walk the street than let you go. But thank God, the simple boy done the job for me. By the way, do you know that the simple boy only takes orders from his mother?
You mean Buddy? I don't believe I met his mother.
Well, we really don't know who his mother is. He's an orphan. But the lady he calls his mother is Felix's third wife. We call her the Saint. You see, she had an orphanage years ago. And that's where the simple boy was raised. And that's where he learned how to treat wild animals. That's why he was on the estate.
Well, thank you. I think.
Everybody out? Now stay together, please.
Here they are.
Mr. Houston, well, what brings you down here?
Well, I tried to get you at the house, and they told me I'd run into you out here. See, I'd kind of like to talk to you about Buddy.
Buddy?
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's true, but you see, there's some people that say Buddy would kill for you. Is that right?
That's a terrible thing to say.
Well, I know that, but do you think he would?
I should have killed Felix. You know that? He's hurt everybody he's ever touched. He even wanted to pull the plug on the children's home. End it all. Just like that. Of course, he owned the land. And I don't have any other money. Not real money. Not what it would take.
Listen, did Buddy know that?
I guess so. When I go over to the house, he'd hear the screaming. Me begging Felix, him laughing, and me cursing him.
Listen, do you know where he is?
Buddy?
Yeah.
Well, the police asked that same question.
Listen, you got to talk to me. I care an awful lot about Buddy, and I'm just trying to help him. Can you tell me where he is?
Well, there are only a couple of places he'd go. The estate, of course, with animals. And the home. And he used to come here to play miniature golf. Buddy doesn't have any friends. He can play miniature golf alone.
Buddy! Hang on a minute, I want to talk to you. Buddy! Sorry. Give me that rope, Bert. Trying to kill, Buddy? You or me?
I wouldn't hurt nobody, especially not Mr. Houston. I would never have crashed you. I promise. Just scare you off.
Why, Buddy?
I know about Mr. Felix's will. You don't think so, but I know. How Mr. Houston was supposed to see if one of Mr. Felix's wives was a murderer.
Tell me something. Why would that make you want to scare me?
Because they told me on the phone.
Who told you?
I don't know, but they told me. You want to blame it on my mother.
Was it a man's voice?
A woman's voice.
I don't remember.
Buddy, this is a murder case. Are you aware of the fact that you are still under indictment and we are trying very hard to clear you?
Oh, it's all right. A jury won't convict me.
Buddy, do you know something we don't know? Why won't a jury convict you?
Because I didn't do it.
Hey! Hey! What are you doing? Oh, Pecorito, this isn't the pine forest. This is a piece of Italy. When you smell the cheese, you know. When you smell the oil, you know. The smell here is part of everything. Via con...
Mama, come here. Come here.
Hey, what's that for?
It's because I owe you one, Mama.
Oh, I love it. So owe me again?
How's that?
I'll tell you after you tip me again. Simpaticone.
You know, tips like that can starve a girl.
Hey! You got your diet, I got mine. Zikta?
Listen, Vince, I think I got it. I think I've got it. It's been haunting me all the time. Tell me something. How do you train a house pet, whether it's a tiger or not, to be a killer?
That's easy. The 3 S's.
Right. Sight, sound, and smell. Go on, buddy. Tell him.
If you beat a dog, he's gonna hate you on sight. If you blow a whistle, every time you take his food away, he's gonna hate that sound.
And the 3rd S is smell.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you can train an animal by a certain smell. Ah.
Now, you remember the coroner's report? The strong smell of cologne. Now, buddy, this is the bottle of Crown Jaguar cologne that we took off Felix's dressing table.
Yes.
And this is the stuff that he wore all the time, all day long, every day.
He always wore it.
He wore this stuff when he used to pet and feed the tiger, right?
He always wore the same thing.
All right, let's try something, buddy. Follow that on there. CJ. Now, that is the bottle that we found on Felix's body the morning he was killed. That's the bottle. Advance. Oh, look at that. Makes a difference, doesn't it? Now, that bottle has been tampered with, and I think it's going to tell us who killed Felix. CJ, I want you to get on the horn, call the 4 ex-wives, and get them out here as soon as possible.
You get them here voluntarily? You gonna sell tickets?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I reckon you all know why you're here.
Here comes the Charlie Chan scene.
Charlie who?
Yeah, well, it is sort of like that. You see, I figure in order to catch the killer, I got to get all my suspects right here in one spot.
Marvelous, darling. You expect one of us just to jump up and confess?
Well, not exactly like that, no.
Well, I can hardly wait to see how you're going to do this.
Me too. Now, let's talk about some facts here, folks. Now, all of you had a very good reason for wanting Felix dead. You built up his business in a day and age where the little woman was supposed to stay at home and give him all the credit, not to mention all the money. And when you went to him for a loan, small loan of $20 million to keep your new business afloat, he just kind of smiled and walked away.
Man was right in character.
Yeah, yes, he was. And you needed a loan to save your school and the orphans. And just for fun, he said no.
He was a real sweetheart.
Yes, he was. You two, you're mortgaged to the hilt.
Huh.
Now, you have an alternative lifestyle, and you just want to be a star and cut a new record.
I'm 22 for crying out loud. I don't have a lot of time left.
Oh.
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about that. But anyway, folks, that's it. All the motives are right here. Now, you all had very good access to this place.
Access for what reason?
To fix it so the tiger could kill Felix.
Listen, darling, you beautiful thing. Did it ever occur to you, police genius, that maybe it was an accident? Maybe the gate was left open. And maybe it was that simple boy.
No!
Oh, well, I don't think so. See, I believe it was murder.
Oh, my God, that's Pasha! Don't run. Move away slowly. You'll attack.
How did it get loose? I don't see why you guys are so afraid of Pasha. It's just a great big pussycat.
Past tense, darling. Have you forgotten that Pasha ate Felix for breakfast a few days ago?
Wonderful for him.
ZZ, maybe you could tell me something. Have you ever heard of the phrase programmed to kill?
Programmed? What are you talking about?
Well, I tell you, it's called teaching an old tiger new tricks, and I believe that was your job, wasn't it, Richard?
Job?
Well, you see, while ZZ was keeping Felix busy up there in the house, you were training that tiger to hate your special brew perfume. Hated enough to kill anybody that was wearing it.
Darling, beautiful thing. You have no proof.
Well, then you wouldn't mind if I just gave you a little spritz of Felix's cologne, huh? Yeah, well, I think that about does it. Buddy, come on out of there, buddy.
Why didn't Pasha kill me?
Well, I'll tell you, that's because this isn't really the death bottle. It's down at police headquarters where it belongs. This is just an ordinary bottle right off the shelf.
Stupid me. And you even more stupid.
I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, you got it, gentlemen. It's all yours.
Karate!
Come
Oh!
Look, this is pointless. I don't want to hurt you at all right? Vince, come on now. Let's get this thing over with, okay?
Didn't you call him?
He's supposed to be here right now. Vince! Vince!
Karate!
Tiger.
The old point to the tiger trick, huh?
Works every time.
But, Mr. Houston, all this should be receipted. I will get the names and addresses and issue checks.
Murray, checks take forever. You see, the people who sell popcorn and handle the boat rides in this world all have bills to pay right now. Just pay them what I owe them from yesterday.
If you insist.
Yes, I do. I insist. Now, also, you tell them that the orphan kids have got a free running tab at their places until this runs out. And when it does, tell them they can come back for more.
Sir, these are $100 bills.
Right. Good night, Murray.
Good night, sir.
Cheers. You know what's so terrific about working with you, Houston?
What's that?
Everything. Just think what you've accomplished in the last couple of days.
Buddy and Pasha have both been reprieved from their death sentences.
Yeah, not to mention the ex-wife's got all her money.
St. Audrey got that palatial estate, which is a perfect place for her to expand her orphan home facilities.
Don't forget about Lauren. She's a cinch to win her proxy fight.
And if the cover of Variety is correct, little Ava's about to make her very own movie.
Oh, boy. Let's not forget Zizi. I think it's going to be an awful long time before she gets another massage.
I suspect you're right. Now, if you and Vince Novelli can only synchronize your watches when it comes to trapping a killer.
Oh, either that or just always have Tiger with us, huh? Or maybe not. That's real nice, Miss Bailey, but I tell you what, see, you're not really following through with your backhand.
Which is precisely why I hired the best instructor on staff here, Mr. Garrett. Houston, we've been here for 2 weeks. Now, I love my vastly improved overhead smash, but I sure hope we wrap this up soon.
Well, CJ, you don't just set a trap and expect to catch a world-famous jewel thief overnight.
Well, I hope my medical insurance covers tennis elbow.
Me too.
Thank you. We're very proud of it. Southern California Club #1, home base for our expanding hotel operations and the magazine.
Club #2 is under construction as we speak on Maui, and with any luck, it'll be ready for next year's contest.
Maui. I don't know about you girls, but I'm definitely entering next year's contest, too. So am I. Get a hold of hotel security and tell them our man has taken the bait. And you beautiful women so perfectly typify what we here at Southern California Club are working so hard to do.
Hold it, Amon. I said hold it, Amon.
Sorry, stay down.
Chief Powers, meet Henry Almont, world-famous jewel thief.
Presenting the Chapman collection. By the way, Lieutenant Hood and the city police are on their way here now.
Good.
Take him to the office and hold him until the police get here. Nice job, Houston. But I still say Nikki is wasting her money having you here. I could have caught Amont if I'd had the chance.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Tell me something. How did you know Amont would strike today?
Oh, it's very simple. CJ's going on vacation.
Right?
A vacation to Acapulco.
If Amon had stolen those jewels, it would have blown my airline reservation.
That's very disappointing.
Very.
Yeah, that's why we had to figure out a way to speed him up.
You see, Mrs. Chapman was scheduled to stay in town with her jewelry collection for one more month. Now, Henry Almont knew that, so he was biding his time. But last night at a dinner party, Mrs. Chapman decided to return to New York with her gem collection tonight.
It's exactly what I told her to say, and that would force Amon to make this move today.
Game, set, and match to Mr. Houston.
Adios, senorita.
Ah, gracias, senor. See you in 2 weeks.
Excuse me, miss. Listen, I just wanted to apologize for that collision earlier today. I hope you're all right.
Oh, I'm fine. A little shaky. People firing guns does that to me.
Yeah.
I'm Sandy. Sandy Marlowe.
Sandy, it's a pleasure. Matt Houston.
Well, you make a wild first impression, Mr. Houston.
Well, it might have something to do with the fact that I'm really not a tennis pro at all. See, I happen to be a private detective.
You wouldn't kid me, would you?
I know. I mean, not at all. I really am a private. So are you sure you're all right?
Maybe this is crazy, but... Mr. Houston, would you be available to have dinner with me tonight? I guarantee it would be strictly business. I mean, I'll pay the bill.
Strictly business, huh?
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of. Well, you know, I tell you, I just came off of a long case, and I got quite a bit.
I should have known better than to ask.
Well, now, hold on, Sandy. Listen, well, you didn't quite let me finish back there. You see, I might not be ready to jump into a business meeting, but I would very much love to buy you dinner. And if during the course of that dinner the conversation changes to what's bothering you.
Thanks. 8 o'clock?
I'd be fine. Thank you. Now, you were talking about the girl in New York.
Janice. She's the one that first started talking about this maniac thing.
Now, Janice, was she also a centerfold?
Was. That's just it. Janice was Miss January, but she dropped out of the contest.
Go on.
Well, we just finished a 10-city promo tour plugging the contest when this maniac thing supposedly happened in New York, in the hotel we were staying at.
Sandy, you've used words like supposedly and claim. Now, does that mean you really didn't believe Janice?
Yes and no. Janice has a far-out imagination, and sometimes she'd take things like acid and PCP. I don't know. I don't know if somebody really attacked her or not.
Now, you believe her enough to be scared, don't you?
Well, wouldn't you be? I mean, I'm not the only one. I've talked to some of the other girls, and they're willing to come in with me. You know, to come up with enough money to hire you.
To find the so-called maniac, and if there is one, catch him.
Yeah, I guess. And for my money, you can start with that creep over there. He's turned up in almost every city on this tour.
Does this creep have a name?
Dumbreel, I think. He claims to be a reporter.
Excuse me. Mr. Dumbrell? No, wait, no. Mr. Dumbrell.
You see what I mean? It's weird. It seems like no matter what city we're in, I can look up and I'll see his face in the crowd.
Sandy, has there been anybody else like him that's followed the tour from city to city?
Well, not that I know of. Not that isn't connected with the contest. What will you do first, if you'll take the case?
Well, first I have to determine if there really is a case. And the only one who can help me do that is the girl who saw the supposed maniac.
Janice.
Right. Now, I will get in touch with the contest officials. Maybe they can help me get a line on her.
You know, I feel better already.
CJ, thanks for coming back. I'm sorry about your Acapulco vacation. Could you hang on for a second?
Well, when I heard my name being paged LAX, I had a feeling Montezuma would have to wait to take his revenge. Now, what's this I hear about a missing centerfold?
Well, maybe nothing, CJ. It just seems like she disappeared from New York, and I'm having a hard time tracking her down. She shouldn't be that hard to find.
What can I do for you?
I'd like you to go back to the office and do some homework. Okay? Put together a list for me of everybody that was connected to the New York contest prior to their arrival here yesterday. They all stayed at the same hotel in Barrington.
You got it. Where will you be?
I will be here. I'll have a little chat with the management, see if we can come up with a similar list. Thank you.
Thank you. To my husband, may his new Broadway show rise to the heights and remain there forever.
Dina, you have to start with the booze so early.
It's much less harmful than that stuff you put up your nose. Besides, who's paying all the bills? Did Variety print your story?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they printed it. They buried it on page 19.
Orson, it has been quite a while since your big hit play. Perhaps they thought it was just another of your publicity stunts.
Why? Because I cast a centerfold in the lead?
Question is, can your star of tomorrow even win this centerfold contest?
She has to. Well, I mean, Gilda's a natural. She has something very special. She could be another Hepburn, Bergman. She's got it all.
Hi, here's Sandy Marlin. I'm Lenny Dumbrell.
Look, I know who you are. Just stay away from me, huh?
You can't talk to a member of the press that way.
Press? You're a weirdo who hangs out at beauty contests.
I'm a freelance photojournalist.
Who's never had one story published. Now leave me alone or I'm gonna call security.
Yeah, it won't be necessary. I believe the lady asked you to leave.
Thank you.
Man certainly knows how to make an exit, doesn't he? Now listen, I've got quite a few friends on the police force, and they're all trying to find out exactly who he is, so don't worry about it.
Did you find Janice?
Not yet. She left New York 2 days ago, but so far she hasn't showed up at home. But just don't worry about it. We're going to find her.
I really feel safe when you're around.
Okay, now, honey, that's it.
Excuse me, Sandy. Baby, you're up.
I gotta go.
Listen, you have time for a drink, lady?
Meet me in the bar in an hour. Make that a half hour.
Sandy?
All I can say is this wasn't my fault. If that girl thought she was in trouble, she should have told me. I could have protected her.
Who are you?
Powers, Chief of Security.
Lieutenant White. I want a list of every guest in this hotel, also every employee.
Well, I don't know. That could take a lot of time. I'm a busy man. I mean, that could take a couple of hours.
No, it won't take a couple of hours. I don't have a couple of hours. The dead girl doesn't have a couple of hours. I want that list fast. 20 minutes tops. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
What a stinking world. Butchery, lipstick, graffiti. What the hell are you doing here, Houston?
I was trying to be on hand when they're stuffing one of my clients in a body bag.
That dead girl was one of your clients?
You see, she hired me to find out if there was a maniac stalking her.
Houston, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, CJ. Trying to sort things out a little bit.
It wasn't your fault.
You trusted me, CJ.
And you did everything you could.
Did I? She was scared, now she's dead.
Houston, her best friend is here, the girl you wanted to talk to. She's waiting for you in the office.
I'll be in a minute.
Sandy never admitted it, but she hated this Cinepho stuff.
Well, then why did she stay in it, especially after Janice told her about a maniac and dropping out?
That's easy. Fame, money. The winner of this contest makes $100,000.
That's what I call a lot of motive.
Yeah. Now, so we've got several possibilities here. One being that the girl who dropped out of the contest was right, that there really is a full-blown loony out there.
Or somebody's taking advantage of the maniac rumors and killing these girls for the prize money.
Yeah. Listen, one of the reasons why I asked you here, we want to ask you a couple of questions. Now, is it safe to say that Sandy was a favorite to win the contest?
Well, everybody sort of thought that the contest was between two girls, Sandy and Gilda Rivera.
Certainly see why she's a top contender.
She's a beautiful girl.
And she's very talented. She's co-starred in a couple of films, and she's just been signed to star in a Broadway play.
Mr. Houston, Eric Jason's on the phone for you.
Thank you, Chris. Houston.
Nikki wants to see you at the conference room in the hotel. She says it's very important. It has something to do with the murder.
I'm on my way. Listen, well, I have to run off right now, but is it possible that maybe you could stick around here? CJ needs to ask you some questions. We want to try and get a line on everybody connected with the contest.
Sure.
Thank you.
You know, Houston, you and I are an awful lot alike. Shakers and movers. Pulled ourselves up by the proverbial bootstraps. Became conglomerates. There's one thing I don't understand, though. Why did you give up your empire to become a detective?
Well, I guess my priorities changed. I suddenly realized making money was not the end all.
I'm beginning to wonder if it isn't time for my priorities to change. This centerfold contest, the international telecast, my fast budding chain of hotels, they all seem so terribly important to me. Before I got this telex, it's addressed to you. Apparently you've been making inquiries, but my hotel manager thought I should see it first. It concerns Janice Fields, the centerfold who claimed that a maniac was out to kill all 12 of the girls and withdrew from the contest. She's dead. She never even made it out of New York. A janitor found her body in the hotel basement. She'd been dead for 2 days.
She was stabbed to death. With a knife, the same way Sandy was. Janice was Miss January. Sandy was Miss February. That means the killer is working chronologically. Now, who is Miss March?
Oh, Miss March, Gilda Rivera.
What room is she in?
Oh, I don't know. I can't think.
Well, you've got to think. We don't have time.
602.
602.
Sandy, Janice, and now Gilda. All stabbed to death. Janice was right. She said he threatened to kill all 12 of us. Well, the score's 3 down and 9 to go.
Debbie, for God's sakes, will you shut up?
I don't want to shut up. I want out of this contest now and alive. And you'll all go with me unless you want to stay here and die.
I'm with Debbie. This has gone
Ladies,
far.
please, just listen to me for a minute. Now, the worst thing in the world you can all do right now is panic. Now, even more dangerous is this notion of you all packing up, pulling up stakes, and heading home unprotected.
What makes you think so?
The late Janice Fields makes me know so. You see, she dropped out of the contest, and she headed for home, but it didn't take her off the killer's hit list.
Now, you do have a point there.
Yes, but with all due respect to Houston, you may be wrong.
Val, don't you understand? It doesn't make any difference where you and all the other girls are. You're all centerfolds. You all did appear in Nikki's Southern California Club magazine.
So what you're telling us is that the contest itself has nothing to do with the killing his motives? I mean, that he's going to try to kill us regardless?
There is a very strong possibility.
What do you recommend, Houston?
I say we all stick here. Just be calm. Use the buddy system. Travel in pairs. Just don't go anywhere by yourselves.
It does make sense.
Lieutenant Hoyt is on the phone right now. He's going to have security men here around the clock.
Oh, great. Great, but there's still no guarantee, right?
Guarantees are a little hard to come by. But we have all got the best police protection. We've all got common sense. Now, if we use it, we're all going to be just fine.
Ready when you are, CJ.
Oh, I was ready about 20 minutes ago and it was still only 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, I punched in the key players who were in New York when Janice was killed. Starting with Nikki Sheffield. She began as an actress, apparently a very good one. Then she became a one-woman conglomerate when she started the Southern California Club.
Not to mention her Southern California Girly magazine.
She also managed to get herself in hock to the IRS for $3 million. Now, I checked that out, and her empire is in jeopardy. But she can get out of hock if she has a blockbuster rating on the centerfold telecast.
You mean pay TV?
Nikki will receive a fixed sum of money for every household that tunes in, and the telecast will be worldwide.
CJ, that's a pretty cold-blooded thought. I mean, to kill 3 centerfolds just to increase your audience, you know, publicity reasons, hype.
Well, here's Eric Jason, photographer.
It's also Nikki Sheffield's right arm. From what I have seen and heard, if Nikki ever got in trouble, he could probably...
Kill for her.
Right. Who's next?
Orson and Dina Lowe. He's the Broadway producer, and she's the bottled and bond spouse. Now, he's the man who wanted to take Gilda Rivera, the last victim, and make her into a Broadway star.
Well, CJ, it sounds to me, I mean, losing his star and all makes him more of a victim than it does suspect.
Maybe. Last but not least, Lenny Dumbriel. He's the self-proclaimed freelance reporter who's actually a beauty contest groupie.
Sounds like an expensive hobby. How's he do it?
Once a month, his parents send him a 4-figure check to stay out of their lives.
Greater love hath no parent, huh?
He's very, very bright, high IQ, and a social misfit. A good word for him would probably be weirdo.
What else does our friend do besides be a professional girl watcher?
Well, now, don't get mad, Houston, but I saved the best for last. This is the dessert. Came in about a half hour ago. Dumbriel, besides being a weightlifter and indulging in a smattering of satanic worship, is also a Charlie Manson groupie.
CJ, you know this for a fact?
Watch this. Look like someone you know?
Well, it could be Dumbriel.
How can you be so skeptical? Look at this.
Get a hold of Lieutenant Hoyt.
Well, don't go so fast. That was just a teaser. Houston, be careful. He was in a mental institution.
blew it, Houston. You really blew it. Now we gotta catch that crazy the hard way, if we can find him.
Well, all we have to do is come up with some solid evidence. You have any luck?
Only the murder weapon with Dumbrill's prints all over it. Showed up in New York, in the hotel where Janice Fields cashed in. Dried blood all over the weapon. A perfect match.
Well, maybe I did blow it. All we have to do now is find him before he strikes victim number 4.
All right. Sealed off the resort perimeter. That means our suspect is all boxed in. Harrison, I want you to take your men and begin a sweep of the grounds. Move it out. No civilians, Houston. Get on back to your hotel room.
No, wait, I'm going with you. And there's not a thing you can do to stop me. You see, I'm good, I am trained, and I am partly responsible for that murderer still being out there. More important, I do not want to live the rest of my life with murder number 4 on my conscience. Now, you just sent all your men off. You go out now, you go out alone, no backup. The way I figure it, you need me.
Well, I see we made it in time.
In time for what?
Manhunt. Lieutenant, me and my men are at your disposal.
Powers, I want you and your men to go back where you came from and stay the hell out of this.
But these are the cream of the crop.
It's more like a lynch mob to me.
Well, from what I've seen, you guys need all the help you can get.
Go home, Powers. This is strictly varsity action.
I totally disagree. You know, you might have sold me that bill of goods earlier, Lieutenant, before 3 of my girls were brutally murdered.
Nikki, I strongly recommend that everybody does exactly what Lieutenant Hoyt tells them to.
This guy's got to be caught, Houston.
All right, now hear this. I don't have time to stand here and debate. But if anybody, repeat, anybody in this group in any way interferes with any officer in his course of duty, you're gonna find yourself behind bars.
Powers, get going.
Yes, ma'am. Don't you worry about a thing. Let's go.
Back me up, Houston.
Well, I don't think we need to get that severe.
Let's go. Don't move, Dumbrill! Police!
Do what he says, Lenny!
Fire! Cease fire, you idiots!
I believe he's gonna make it.
No thanks to this lynch mob. Get him to the hospital right away. Disarm every one of them, read them their rights, and book them on attempted murder.
Hold it, Lieutenant. Drumbill fired first. We only returned his fire.
Damn it, Powers, he didn't even have a gun.
Somebody fired that shot.
Who cares? We got the killer.
Do we?
I want to talk to you. See you later, Houston.
Are you positive of that? Thank you very much. CJ, I think I just figured out who killed the 3 centerfolds.
Dumbrell. Newspaper's saying you're a hero, Houston.
Papers were wrong, CJ, just as wrong as all the people who said Lenny Dumbrell fired the first shot when he didn't even have a gun.
Well, there's a lot of undergrowth in that area. The police assume they'll find a gun eventually.
Sure they will. soon as the real killer plants one there.
Houston, what are you thinking?
CJ, it's just too easy, too pat. Lenny Dumbrell is the perfect fall guy. I mean, think about it. He's a loner, devil worshiper, Charles Manson groupie. He followed the centerfolds everywhere they went.
So you think he was set up?
I'm almost positive. I mean, think about it. It would be easy enough to lift Lenny's fingerprints off of an object and place them on that knife. Just as easy, somebody could have placed that roll of undeveloped film, the film of Sandy's body, in his camera bag.
Keep going, Houston. I think you're on a roll.
CJ, the phone call I just took. Now, I've been doing some checking the killer wouldn't have expected us to do. I checked into the backgrounds of the 3 dead centerfolds.
And?
Well, it turns out the last victim, Gilda Rivera, she had a background in half, including a very highly illegal way of making money, and it's called blackmail. Seems that she would lure Hollywood producers into compromising positions, then secretly take lurid photographs, then exchange those photographs for parts in their next movies.
So she developed higher aspirations and decided to become a Broadway star.
That's when she zeroed in on Lowe. She boxed him in. She threatened to ruin his marriage if he didn't star in his next production. But Lowe knew that she'd never make it to Broadway because she'd be far too dead.
So Lowe killed Gilda to preserve his marriage.
And his wife's $20 million.
Then who killed Sandy and Janice?
A man who wanted the world to believe that there was a maniac on the loose.
Phone for you, Mr. Lowe.
Thank you. Yes, Orson Lowe.
Yes, I'm a friend of Gilda's.
Who's this?
I'm the person who's in possession of the negatives featuring you and Gilda Rivera. Very interesting stuff, Mr. Lowe. I'm aware of the fact that those negatives are valuable. But because I have a little cash flow problem, I'll mark them down to $10,000 just for you.
$10,000? I don't carry that kind of cash around with me.
Well, that's why they invented banks, Mr. Lowe. 1 hour, all cash. Meet me at the tramway. By the way, I'm the one who won't be wearing a carnation. Thanks for being punctual.
Just exactly who are you? And how did you get those negatives?
First, the money.
The negatives.
Right there, Lowe.
Houston! How'd you know it was me?
Well, I didn't really know for sure until you showed up here. Question. Why'd you kill 3 girls just to silence one blackmailer when you could have killed your wife and inherited $20 million?
That has been my problem all along. I guess Dina knew if she ever put me in her will, it'd be like committing suicide.
You mean to tell me you killed 3 girls just to protect your meal ticket?
Yeah, I guess that was a little selfish, wasn't it?
Sirens are coming here, Lowe. Would you throw down your gun, or are we gonna have to play hardball?
All right. I said I was selfish, not crazy. know, Mr. Houston, what I didn't say was I could never survive in prison.
Houston, come on! My plane leaves in 20 minutes.
Be there in a minute, CJ.
Acapulco, sun, margaritas, bachelors, good stuff.
And nobody deserves a 2-week vacation more than you do, CJ. So let's hit the smoggy blue for LAX.
Okay. Don't do it, Houston. No, no.
Houston. Yeah. I will. CJ, that's some good news and some bad news.
Don't tell me, Houston.
Well, now, wait. The good news is that you still get your 2 weeks of fun in the sun. The bad news, however, is I'm not real sure when you're going to get it. See, now, we just got a nifty case. There's this business tycoon. Now, he's been arrested for killing...
Meet you at the side gate. If we're not out in 3 minutes... Hey, don't worry, I'll find you. Just me and him. Don't fight. Lieutenant, there's trouble in the girls' quarters. Peg, I love you. Can't you see they're killing you? See?
Satan. Satan. Satan.
Satan.
Satan. Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan. Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Get out! Oh, 3 guys. One was her brother.
Emmett, I told you to renounce it, Peg. You have no brother.
I do. I do renounce him, Jesse. I didn't want for this to happen. I'm sorry, Jesse. I'm sorry.
There is no room for sorries in the kingdom of heaven. Not without penance. The whipping post. Strip her and punish her.
I'm sorry, Jesse.
Peg, if your heart had been pure, this never would have happened.
I love you, Jesse.
On my 33rd birthday, God appeared to me in a vision. God looked down on me and he said, Jesse Mercer, I have chosen you to save mankind from destroying himself. But God, I protested, you sent Jesus Christ to do that. Well, God just looked at me and shook his head and he said, Jesse, Jesus Christ started it. Now I want you to finish the job.
Who does he think he is?
It was up to me to fulfill our Father's wish. He told me to quit my job.
That's my sister. There.
What makes you think that Mercer is trying to kill her?
History. In 2 days, Peg turns 21. When she does, she gets free access to the inheritance our folks left her.
It's over $3 million, Houston. She's already talked to the family attorney and asked that it be cash so that she can donate it to the church.
Well, look, it seems to me that as soon as the money is handed over to Mercer, I mean, it's his free and clear. Why would he bother to try and kill her?
CJ and I did some checking while you were still out about 30 miles on that skiff of yours. And what we were able to dig out about the past of the cult more or less confirms Emmett's opinion.
History lesson number 1, Houston. Oklahoma, 4 years ago. This girl sold everything she had, Houston. The house, the car. She gave Mercer $60,000. Everything seemed rosy for about a month, and then she had a change of heart.
When Mercer wouldn't give the money back, she went to the local DA. She claimed that Mercer had conned and swindled her. It created quite a stink, and she died quite suddenly.
He killed her.
Officially, the coroner called it an accident. Lady swallowed too many pills, washed them down with whiskey.
History lesson number 2. 18 months ago, this girl joined Mercer's cult. She promptly turned over her entire trust fund, $100,000.
And she didn't even get a chance to have second thoughts. Mercer killed her less than 24 hours after she turned over the money.
The official cause of death was a rattlesnake bite. Seems the critter slithered into her sleeping bag during the night.
Tell me something. Has anybody ever made a large donation to the so-called church and survived?
Not that we have found any trace of.
And Mercer won't have to stage an act this time, Houston. Emmett's sister is a diabetic.
Well, Mercer told Peg that once she's turned over the money, as an act of faith, he's going to throw away her insulin. He's going to faith heal her.
Houston, if you want to fight windmills, go to Holland.
Peg Allison is in grave danger.
The world is in grave danger. You read the papers this morning?
This girl is about to turn over $3 million to Mercer. Very shortly thereafter, Mercer is going to faith heal her to death.
Sad, and there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Oh.
This Mercer and other crazies like him got the safest hiding place on earth. Smack dab behind the First Amendment. Freedom of religion.
What you're telling me is that legally, as long as she feels that she's a member of this cult, we can't do anything to save her?
Religions are free to worship animal, vegetable, mineral, or person. And I can't touch them with a 10-foot Bible.
Yeah, well, what if she's being held against her will?
You got any proof?
Her brother seems to think that she's being drugged. He thinks that they're tampering with her insulin just to throw her off balance.
Now you're reaching for straws.
No, I'm grasping for straws, Hoyt. You leave me no choice. I got a feeling on this.
Get me proof. Any shred of tangible proof that this girl is being held against her will, and I'll take on the windmill with you.
Hi there.
Hello. Any luck?
Judge Robbins says without proof he can't justify issuing a court order. What about Hoyt?
Same song. He needs proof.
Well, then, Houston, it's catch-22. To get the order, we need medical tests proving that Mercer is using drugs to con Peg. And there's no way he's going to let us within 10 feet of her.
Oh, what if Mercer just thought that he had to let us see her and didn't know that we were after the medical test?
What would make him think that?
Court order.
Why do I think I'm not going to like this?
We will come rejoicing, bringing in the sheaves, bringing in the sheaves, bringing in the sheaves. We will come rejoicing, bringing in the sheaves, bringing in the sheaves.
I'm better now, Jesse.
The punishment has cleansed your soul. Brother Riggs, take Peg to my quarters.
We will come rejoicing, bringing in the sheaves, bringing in the sheaves, bringing in the sheaves. We will come rejoicing, bringing in the sheaves.
Idea what kind of trouble we can get in for forging a court order?
Well, CJ, you gotta bend the rules every now and then.
Oh, really? It's just a good thing you've got me along with you to help you pull this one off. As long as Mercer realizes that he's dealing with a respectable lawyer, he might not look too closely at our other credentials.
Are you insinuating that I don't look respectable?
You look respectable enough for a bush pilot.
This being private property, I must assume that you're lost.
You assume incorrectly. I'm D.J. Parsons. I'm a lawyer from Los Angeles. I have a court order that authorizes me to get a deposition from Peg Allison. I assume she's here, Reverend Mercer?
Well, she's not feeling too well. A touch of the flu. What about him? Oh, I haven't had flu in years. I'm fine, thank you.
He's my pilot. I'd like to see Miss Allison now.
A brother sent you.
He has a right to know that she's alive and well.
Well, I said she's sick.
And I said that I have a court order. I assume you know what it means if you violate it.
Well, we've nothing to hide. Peg is here of her own free will.
Well, I'd like to hear that from her.
You will. Follow.
What would you like me to do, Miss Parsons?
Why don't you feed and water the chopper? I won't be long.
Feed and water the chopper?
Peg, this woman would like to talk to you
About what?
about how you enjoy living here, working with your brothers and sisters for the glory of our Father, about how...
Reverend, if you don't mind, I'd like to talk to Peg alone. The court order so stipulates.
Peg, I want you to cooperate with Miss Parsons. I want you to tell her the truth.
Your brother Emmett sent me.
Emmett is Satan.
No. No, he loves you. He's worried about you.
Emmett is evil.
He believes the people here are using drugs on you. That they're withholding your insulin. He thinks they're playing with your mind.
This is my family. Emmett is evil. Emmett is Satan.
All right. Let's prove it. Let me take a blood sample. And if it's negative, then Emmett is Satan. And Jesse is the Messiah. But let's prove it, Peg. Okay? What do you say?
But are you really happy with your life? Haven't you ever wondered who you are, why you're here, where you're going?
Why, I think I'm going to see how Miss Parsons is doing. Thank you.
That should satisfy Emmett and the court. Goodbye, Reverend. We're ready to go.
Look, Rev, if you ever need a fast trip out of the country, let me know, huh? Nice place. If they're doing something, the sample should prove it.
Well, I hope we get back in time. She's not looking too good.
Well, I'll tell you what, first things first. All we got to worry about now is getting out of here.
That's right.
What did you tell her, Peg? Did you tell her you're being held here against your will?
No, Jesse. I'm here of my own free will. I told her that.
Throw the gun out, flyboy, or we finish off the lady lawyer.
Satan's handmaiden has fallen. How sad.
Get up. Take him to the isolation room. Everything is under control. Claudia, take your brothers and sisters down to the stream, lead them in prayer. Give thanks that we overcame the forces of Satan once again. What kind of religion is this, eh? You fight Satan with gunfire? You gonna let her bleed to death? Pay these heathen no mind. They're nothing but depraved kidnappers. They came to take Peg.
Jesse?
That road there. Take a right.
Easy. Take it easy.
I'm trying.
I know. We gotta give her another shot of morphine.
Very little left. Pain's only gonna get worse. I think we better wait.
You know, Jesse says I gotta keep you and the lady lawyer alive until Friday. Now, after that, Jesse doesn't give a damn what happens. But I care. I really care.
Roy. Blood.
Shell casing. Lots of them.
This is Lieutenant Hoyt. Patch me through to Watch Commander. Fast.
And in closing, we want to give thanks for the leadership that you have bestowed upon me. Amen. Now be strong. I promise you that we will emerge from this time of tribulation stronger than ever. Do you all have faith in Jesse?
Yes.
Has Jesse ever let you down?
No.
Then be at peace. Now, Sister Claudia will lead you in the morning hymn.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like...
There. The insulin should make you feel better.
I hope so.
I know so. Well, the big day is almost here, Peg.
Big day?
Friday. The day Peg Allison guarantees herself a place in the kingdom of heaven. A seat at the right hand of God. You haven't changed your mind now, have you? About the money?
Huh? Oh, no. I'll do whatever you want.
Bless you.
Carl, you mean to tell me that there's nothing left in this damn bag that's gonna help her? That's great.
Oh, CJ.
This is something else, isn't it? You're a very special lady.
you gotta hang on.
From a used car salesman to a multi-millionaire playboy in 4 short years. If word ever got out that owner cult is so profitable, there'd be more shepherds than there'd be sheep. The moment I get my hands on that $3 million, it's sayonara, US of A.
What about your flock? What happens to them?
Well, they were looking for a messiah when I found them. They'll either get smart and go home, or find themselves another one. There's plenty of them out there.
We're now going to switch back to our remote unit that's been covering the bizarre disappearance of Detective Matt Houston and lawyer C.J. Parsons. Any new developments out there, Sharon?
Let's ask Lieutenant Michael Hoyt, the man who's heading up
Check
this
out the other end of the
investigation. What can you tell us, Lieutenant?
Only that we're in the process of issuing APBs on Reverend Jesse Mercer and members of his congregation.
Charging them with?
Investigation of kidnapping and murder.
It's Gambler. Tell him we're gonna move. We'll roll out of here in 3 minutes.
Looks like they're moving again. There must be some kind of trouble. Let's hope it's the kind of trouble that helps us.
I say we kill all 3 of them now.
And I say we kill nobody. Until I have Peg Allison's inheritance in hand, we're long out of this country. Now, you stay here, make sure nothing happens to our guests.
I hate to pack it in, but I don't know where to start looking.
Colts are like moles. They can crawl in a California hole and surface in Colorado.
Remind me to give both of you my lecture on positive thinking. In the meantime, turn around.
All right, fellas, spread out. Hold it right there.
You must be Lieutenant Hoyt. Slander I've heard on my car radio. The blasphemer who calls me a kidnapper and a murderer.
Now, look.
No, now you look. And listen. We have been in Arizona for the past week on our annual retreat into the desert.
How do you explain a helicopter?
I can't. I've never seen it. We've been in Arizona.
You can prove that? You have witnesses?
You're surrounded by witnesses. We all vouch for one another. Thou shalt not bear false witness, and thou shalt either arrest me and risk a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, or get off this property right now, because I am in no mood to forgive those who trespass. Need I remind you how the court deals with infidels who violate the First Amendment and its freedom of religious guarantees?
Clear the premises! That's an order!
Lieutenant, you're not gonna let this creep get off the hook so easily. You can't let...
I wanted the premises cleared. That applies to you too, Allison.
Carl? I can't get a pulse.
No, I got her pulse. It's weak, though. We gotta get her to a hospital.
Girl, you just keep her alive. I'm gonna get us out of here.
Yes, sir. I understand, sir. You have made yourself perfectly clear, sir. Yes, sir. Whatever you say, sir. Yes, sir. Good night to you, too, sir.
That's telling him.
This may surprise you, but I have a family to feed. I like my job. I have my own office. I have my own police car. I get a chance to wear a suit and a tie. And I have no desire to go back out on foot patrol.
So you tell the captain anything he wants to hear?
When he's right, yes. Roy, we have no proof that Jesse Mercer has broken any laws. That cult leader is hiding behind the Constitution, the American flag, and apple pie. And my hands are completely tied.
Well, mine aren't.
Roy.
Lieutenant. My nephew and CJ are missing. Maybe dead. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to do something about it.
You're my attorney. You're paid to do what I tell you.
Miss Allison, I'm also paid to give you advice. And I'm advising you to reconsider. As executor of your parents' will, I have certain obligations. And I feel I wouldn't be doing my job unless I warn you that...
Mr. Addison, I don't want to argue. Just bring me my inheritance. All $3 million this afternoon in cash. 4 o'clock, Cassandra Park, by the fountain.
Bingo.
I see Riggs, but no Scanlon.
We're almost home now.
There's a Bible passage that says the love of money is the root of all evil. And I can't wait to get my hands on all $3 million worth of that evil.
Thank you. All set. Our charter jet's ready to take off the minute we hit the airport.
First stop, Buenos Aires. That's after I faith heal our little diabetic. Well, that's it. Let's go. You know something? I'm gonna miss all this. There's a certain something about having power. Total control over people. Life and death say so. Oh, what the hell? Peg's $3 million and the rest of the money I got stashed around, I'll be able to buy everything I'll ever need. Including power. Now be of good cheer. By the time I return with Peg's love offerings, your lives will be drastically changed.
How so, Jesse?
Now, that's a surprise. But I can tell you this much. It has something to do with going international.
His office. Roy, that is against the law.
Now you tell me. Lieutenant, I got the name of Peggy Allison's lawyer from her brother. I had to take the chance that she might call in and set the time of the meeting.
What good is that going to do you?
I'm going to be there. Once Mercer has Peg Allison's money, he's going to kill her. I got to stop him.
Alone?
Oh, I figure he'll have a little help.
You don't know how good it is to see you, boy. Where's CJ?
Uncle Roy, she was shot. She's in the hospital right now. It's all right. She's gonna be fine. Well, now you can join us.
You're coming?
Oh, somebody's got to make sure you two don't break the law.
Hey, wait. Where are we going?
To baptize a phony preacher.
It all seems to be there. That's quite a bit of money I have in there, Reverend. Have you thought about putting it in a safe place?
Well, actually, I have thought about it quite a lot.
Jesse, wait!
Hold it, Mercer!
Roy, you keep an eye on the girl and make sure the Peg gets to a hospital, all right?
This looks great. Look at the sunset.
Isn't it fabulous? And the weather's great there this time of year. Look at the white sand beaches.
I've never been there.
Oh, you're kidding.
Never ever.
Oh, and the food is so good. And they eat like a pig.
Beaches. They're so beautiful.
I'm going to take surfing lessons, I think.
Surfing?
Well, maybe not.
CJ, what are you doing?
Oh, Houston. The doctor said that I had to take the next 3 weeks off, so I thought I'd take a vacation.
Maybe Hawaii.
A vacation?
Uh-huh. What's the matter?
Well, it's just when you were in the hospital, things kind of stacked up around here.
Yeah, it's paperwork. Some of it looks urgent.
Yeah, all of it. CJ, I'm sorry. I just didn't know that you'd planned on taking some more time off. I promised Murray that you would go over some of this paperwork with him. No, you need the time off.
No, Houston, I won't take a vacation. If you need me to stay here, I will.
Excuse me. Miss Parsons' limo is ready.
I didn't order a limo.
We did. Your private jet departs for Hawaii in 1 hour.
I don't believe you guys.
Did you really think that we were going to rob you of your recuperation time, huh?
What about the paperwork?
Oh, come on, forget about it. It's not a problem. And we sent it to Hawaii yesterday. Let's go.